Right, welcome back. Let's get into the regulars of the show now, and we start off with the question of the day. So this morning what we're asking you, what is your reaction to the Democratic Alliance's intention to take action against government challenging the rationality of some of the lockdown regulations? Looking forward to hearing from you. Of course, I think that they are very much so against the non-sale of alcohol and cigarettes, and e-commerce was one of the things they were going to go and add into this, but that of course has now been taken out. So, you know, there are a couple of things that they are saying should not be there, and we'd love to get your take and your views on this at Morning Live, SABC. That's where you can get hold of us, and hopefully at the end of the show we can also take a couple of your calls, but we'll let you know when we get there. All right, stories, Sakina. Let's have a look and see what we've got today.
So these are some of the stories in our news diary today. President Cyril Ramaphosa will today chair a virtual meeting of the National Economic Development and Labour Council, that's NEDLAC, and they will be discussing the prospects of moving most of South Africa to COVID-19 alert level 3.
Meanwhile, the Deputy President David Mabuza is also expected to meet the Eskom task team on the power utilities' proposed restructuring plans and the recovery of the municipal debt that is owed.
And according to the latest figures released by the Health Ministry, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in South Africa at the moment, 12,739. Number of deaths gone up by 19 and is now at 238. There have since been 5,676 recoveries, and the total number of active cases, 6,825.
Now, for more, remember, you can get the 24-hour hotline on 0800 029 999. There's also the official WhatsApp number you can use, 0600 123 456.
All right, taking a look at those statistics and breaking them down for you every morning, starting with the Western Cape. They now have 7,235 confirmed cases. Gauteng is at 2,135. KwaZulu-Natal, 1,444. Eastern Cape has 1,569 positive cases. Free State, 145. There are 55 in Limpopo. Mpumalanga has 67 positive cases. The Northwest Province 58, and Northern Cape standing at 31.
Now, the new cases that were reported yesterday were 665. Unfortunately, we've left that page, but I think we've spoken to those numbers quite a lot. I can just give you the global picture as well at this point. Well, there the numbers back up positive, 12,739. The tests that are being conducted so far, we're heading towards 500,000 tests. That's a really great amount of tests that have been done in South Africa, but obviously at 403,000 now, and unfortunately the death toll is sitting at 238. Globally, 4.4 million confirmed cases. That's a rise of 82,000 since yesterday, and the death toll at this point is at 302,000, and that's up 4,200 cases. Well, not cases, deaths, unfortunately, to COVID-19.
All right, moving on to those trending topics now, starting with hashtag Which South Africans. Now, this was an interview that took place here on SABC News Channel, and this was between Florence Letwaba and, of course, the DA leader, John Steenhuisen. In case you missed it, let's just show you what happened and what sparked this hashtag.
You said that in the press briefing that you had that, you know, South Africans are begging for clarity on the way forward under the lockdown. Which South Africans are you speaking for, and which conversations are you having, and with whom and where?
Well, I'm having conversations with South Africans who are frankly fed up with the lack of information they've received from government.
Yeah, which ones and where?
Would you like me to provide you with a list of them?
That would be great.
What are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking where are you having these? Which thousands of South Africans are you speaking to? On social media,
yeah. I host a twice weekly show called Corona Cast. You should tune in sometime.
I will.
And we have interactions with lots and lots of citizens who send through their queries. I receive a lot of correspondence as a leader of the opposition. from citizens who are fed up.
So you're talking.
with the fact
So you're talking
of being
for those
treated
people that
like
you're
children.
interacting with, not necessarily all of South Africans, because what you've said is that
Well, how would you
South
have a
Africans
conversation with all
are
of
South Africans are begging for
millions of South
clarity.
Africans?
I'd need
How
to
would you have
know
a
which South Africans.
conversation
Sir, please
with
let me
millions
speak.
of South Africans?
Sir, please let me speak.
I mean,
I've
you expect me
respected
to
you.
provide you with a list.
You've
Which South Africans is the
you've
president
said that you're
talking
speaking to
Which
South Africans. I'd
Africans
like
is
to
the
know
Minister of
which
Health
South
speaking
Africans you're speaking to, sir.
Well, would you like a list? I mean, if you ask the
If you can
president,
do
which
that,
South
that would be
Africans
great,
he's
because if you're speaking for the majority of South Africans, then I'd like to know that you're speaking for the majority of South Africans. When you say us, we, South Africans, who are you speaking
sounds
to
a
is
lot
what we're
to me like
saying.
you speaking for the president.
If
So
I look,
that's-
if
no,
I
you've got
look
to-
at social
you've got
media, a lot of
to-
people are saying that there should be lockdown regulations to protect
Well, a lot of
South
people are saying
Africans.
they're not. A lot of people are saying that they're not.
But
They're sick
hence
and
I'm
tired of being
asking
treated
who you're
like
interacting
children
with.
by a government that's making decisions that have absolutely no basis in both a health perspective and a rationality perspective. But I'm very glad the president's got you in his corner, because he's obviously been speaking to you.
Yes, Leanne.
Gosh,
Hashtag
okay.
which South Africans?
That seems to be a very triggering question. It really is. Who are you speaking for? So this has gotten South Africans speaking quite a bit, and which South Africans is the big hashtag at the moment, and wherever you look, you'll find it. But that was the interview, and that was the reason why which South Africans is trending. So I mean, I could read a whole bunch of them for you, but I think I think people they can see and imagine for themselves what's going on.
All right.
Right, day 50 of the lockdown. Wow. I mean, that number just rang true as I woke up this morning. And, you know, I remember, Sakina, on the first day 1 of lockdown, I remember driving to work. And I actually thought what I would do that morning was to do an Insta story. So I put my phone on its little rack. Promise you, I never broke any laws. But I was wondering what to expect on the roads of day 1. And I sort of filmed my route to work, and I sort of spoke how I was feeling and what I was expecting and what these days were going to look like. Never did I know at that time that this would go on for another 50 days, and we don't know when it's going to actually end. But I mean, I don't know how this number has gotten, how it's gotten you feeling this morning.
You know, Leanne, as you say, you think back to day 1, and incidentally, it was a Friday as well when we started this lockdown.
I remember
that. So I remember thinking I was going to meet all sorts of law enforcement officials on the way to work. Didn't happen.
No.
And then I started going, as the days started going, I actually felt some kind of way. I wanted someone to stop me and ask me for a permit. I wanted someone to stop me and ask me, why are you on the roads?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just never happened.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, I must say. I still can't believe where we are at as a country and what we're going through as a world. And, you know, day 50 for South Africans, that 50 days of you know, obliteration of an economy and a lot of people's lives and starvation and desperation, and there's a lot that's going on, but let's never ever forget why we're doing this. And that's why this morning I'm very happy, Sakina, that we're bringing in a medical specialist, because we actually haven't spoken to coronavirus in a while and what it actually does to you if you do contract it. So that's something we need to focus on, and I'm glad we're doing it. We're doing it for a reason, and this will be the reason why. So we'll talk to that later on in the show.
Absolutely. And then just the final hashtag there, hashtag Lerato Kganyago. And this because yesterday it emerged that Lerato Kganyago's marriage to Tami Ndala is over. And this 2 months after they were officially married, as it were, when, you know, the papers were carrying the story, it was spoken about widely on social media. And 2 months later, we believe it is all over, done and dusted. Lerato making that announcement on, you know, her Instagram page, I think it was.
Wow. All right. Well, that's so, it's always sad to see something like that happening, but that's the big talking point. I can see a lot of people weighing in on that conversation. But that's it for the trending topics for now. We, of course, are going to take a break, and then I know you'll bring us the news headlines straight after this.